Welcome back to the vlog. Welcome if you are new here. My name is Nia and this is the Mac Diaries. And today we are taking an adventure. We're taking a trip. Going on a trip in my favorite rocket ship to the thrift store in Chicago. We're gonna do a little thrifting, booping, and bopping around Chicago. I'm here for WNBA All-Star Weekend and some other events, just having a little fun time. And I hear you. I've heard what you had to say, and you're like, Nia, hey, we need some more thrifting tips, some more styling tips. I'm here to deliver. And I'm like, what better way to do like some thrifting in Chicago in a different city so we can explore it together. So I have a list wherever my phone is. I am exporting some footage right now, so getting the camera up and ready to go, and we're gonna hit the road. We're gonna get some pizza, we're gonna go thrifting, we're gonna start at like Goodwill and then work our way up to like more vintage curated shops, because there is a difference. We'll talk about that. And what else? And just have a good afternoon. It's actually chilly here. It's the end of July and I had to put on this sweater, okay? It's low 70s. That's not what the hot girls want to see. But it's almost time to take this little scarf off. Let's get ready to go. And I'm quiet on the creek, slightly hungover. Last night was out for like WNBA All-Star events, and there was like an after party. And out with the stud buds. If you don't know who the stud buds are, they are WNBA players. And yeah, I was out last night, so I'm kind of ready to get some food in me. So let's go. When I'm at stores like Goodwill, I love to look at denim because they always have a huge selection. Like, look at the prices. These are Abercrombie & Fitch jeans for literally $5. All these jeans are $5, $10. Even the Levi's, you always want to look for good quality denim, $10. And just like that, my loves, we are back in New York City. We're back and we're going to get ready together and we're going to go thrifting in New York, okay? Again, I'm not going to make any judgments on Chicago. I'm probably going to have to run that back another time to really give a full review. But we're going to go through, of course, everything I got when I was in Chicago. And I'm going to take you thrifting here in New York City. But first, let's do a quick little makeup, un poquito. I've got my little makeup bag here. I haven't even fully unpacked it from the trip because I want to clean my brushes, do all that stuff, but I'll do that later. Okay, do that later. Right now, we're going to talk a little bit about my best tips, tricks, you know, the insider scoop, if you will, on how to really thrift. If you feel like you walk into a thrift store or you feel like you don't even know where to start, you walk in and you're like, but how are you finding those pieces? I'm going to tell you. I'm not going to gatekeep anymore. But of course, you have to remember that you have to practice this. You have to do it over and over again. You have to find your flow. You have to find what you like, you love, okay? If you like it, I love it. You know the rules, as long as we're not harming anybody. So don't forget to put these things into practice. So these are just my like favorite things that I've noticed have helped and have really brought a better sense of personal style, a better sense of thrifting. And these don't even just apply to just thrifting. This applies honestly across the board. First things first, shopping for materials, not just the labels. I know it can be so tempting to want to go in there and be like, oh, I see some designer items, especially at more of these like curated vintage shops. It can be so tempting to walk in there and be like, oh, I want to get this specific item or want to, you know, do this, that, and the third. Materials, not just labels. Sometimes some of the best pieces that you'll ever get, it will be from brands. Most of the time, the best pieces you'll ever get, it'll be from brands that you've never even heard of, especially if you're truly thrifting or you are vintage shopping. Some of these things are going to be before your time, before our time, and you'll be like, I've never heard of this before, but it's one of the best pieces, you know, I've ever found. Like, I found this white dress. I'll insert a picture here. Never heard of this brand, but I absolutely love all of the detail on it. Such a simple, staple, basic, but it literally has this drop waist, da-da-da-da. And then this is how you also can get put onto brands or put onto different like styles of clothing that you ultimately wouldn't have tried or been exposed to just based on, you know, marketing, based on online. Really expand your view that it doesn't just have to be the label, it can be the materials as well, because you want to look for does it have a lot of damage to the actual piece of clothing? You don't want anything that's too damaged to beyond repair. You want to look for cashmere, silk, linen, real denim, and then always inspect things for like stains, you know, nasty stuff, you know, always inspect. And funny enough, this is where aesthetics actually come into really good play. Thrift for like a vibe. Thrift for an aesthetic, if you will, more so than just like, oh, this is women's clothing. Oh, this is men's clothing, gender clothing, whatever. Go into the men's section. Look for, like, if you like oversized clothing, go to the men's section, go to the crew necks, go to the, you know, sweaters, go to the t-shirts. You would be so surprised what you're going to find either which way, okay? Outerwear, jackets, like different things that, you know, aren't necessarily always served up to you on a platter based on, especially talking to my ladies, especially when you want to mix like more feminine styles with something that's a little bit more edgy, something that's a little bit more masculine, or just even like more gender neutral. And if you also kind of know what vibe you're going for, not necessarily that you're looking for a specific piece, but just an overall vibe, then you can go into a store or find stores that really speak to what you're trying to look. So if you are going to a store that has a lot of workwear, that has a lot of denim, that has a lot of, you know, like cargo pants, things like that, but you're looking for more dresses, you're looking for more Y2K, that's not going to be the store for you, and you're going to feel like overwhelmed, you're going to feel over it, you're going to be like, dang, what is this? So knowing what vibe you're looking for overall and doing a little bit more research on the thrift stores and the areas that you're going to, because that's going to determine like what's in the store. Okay, what's in the store. So like one of the stores that I went to in Chicago, it was called Wannabe Vintage, I think, all Y2K, very Y2K vibes. Like literally everything in there was from, you know, the early 2000s, late 90s kind of vibe, and that was their whole thing, which is cool because I like that to an extent. It's not my entire vibe, but I definitely like, stuff like that. So if you don't like Y2K vintage kind of vibe, then, you can just skip that altogether. And this can help you search between the difference of consignment shops, vintage shops, thrift shops, charity shops. Like, all of them fall into very different categories and have very different inventory. I like to hit different things for different reasons. Like, for example, if I'm looking for like a designer bag, you're not going to get that at your Goodwill. Like, you may run into a very rare, like Coach bag or something that's maybe a little bit more like lower tier in terms of luxury. But if you're looking for like a specific luxury vintage piece, you're gonna have to go to a vintage consignment, curated shop versus like a Goodwill or someplace where things are donation based or, community based rather than curation based. So just knowing what kind of vibe and overall like maybe pieces that you're looking for, but not necessarily specific items, really helps you tailor down where to shop. Then once you get more familiar with, knowing where to shop, now you can start asking questions. Now you can start asking the deep questions, especially in a city near you. Ask the people who work there, when do you guys restock? That's why I say I low-key hate going shopping. I low-key hate going shopping, period, on the weekend, but especially vintage or thrift shopping. Obviously, if that's the only time you have, it's the only time you have. But if you can swing it where you're like off one day or off one week, whatever, go during the weekday, because that's most of the time when people are restocking. And also inventory is better, things are refreshed. People are donating typically a lot on the weekends or like towards the, beginning of the week. So that midweek, early in the time, the selection is so much better. It's so much less picked over. It's just such a better time. Specifically when it comes to online thrifting and online secondhand shopping, this is why knowing overall more garment specific material language helps than rather just like cool girl outfit or going out outfit or going out tops or any of the stuff that we just like put in Pinterest, which is cool for inspiration. But when you're searching for more garment specific items, especially secondhand shopping, you're going to get better results when you search by, let's say, I'm looking for leather jackets from the 90s. I'm looking for vintage activewear for this specific team. I'm looking for corsets that have a lace up in the back. I'm looking for a silky lace, vintage camisole. I'm looking for men's oversized cashmere sweaters. Like, that is the specific language that you need to be using, especially when you're searching online to go secondhand shopping if you don't have a lot of thrift stores, secondhand consignment in an area near you. The deep pops, the poo pops, the 1, 2, 3 pop it off. You can find the stuff that you're looking for online, okay? We live in 2027. You can find it and have it sent to you, babe. And last but certainly not least, seasonal pieces. Seasonal pieces. This is so key when thrifting. A lot of the times I'm going in, for example, and getting stuff that is very seasonally dependent. Almost all of my coats, except for maybe like this one leopard coat that I haven't wearing to the ground, are thrifted, because you can find wool coats, you can find pea coats, rain coats, trench coats, all really great material, way less than you would pay, full price for at the store. Of course, that's the goal here. But then also the materials are so much better and you can repair them, like them, love them, and have them for forever and ever and ever. And these are a lot of things that people will return, they'll donate because they, change with the season. So a lot of people will be like, oh, I don't need that coat, just like get it out of here. And then before you know it, there's like a treasure chest of pea coats at the thrift store. And you're like, what? So looking for wool coats, leather jackets, blazers, cashmere sweaters, linen trousers, silk skirts, scarves, belts, statement shorts, vintage denim. Like, those are all amazing things to thrift because they're in like a seasonal abundance. They're like candy, okay? It's like candy at Halloween, okay? It just comes around seasonally. It's like boom, you're in a treasure trove of those items. And then by the time the winter comes, you already have like 5 coats. Like, literally I bought like 5 wool coats, a pea coat, a trench coat, this, that, and the third, before the winter had even started, for like the price of what one wool coat would cost me in the store. Make sure you're looking at seasonal items. I'm telling you, not just for the season that you're in. Make sure you're looking a little bit ahead, not too far ahead. Don't get, So overall, I would say that just the cheat code, if you will, both online and in person, is stop trying to search for like, oh, this is a thrifted item, but search for the clothes and the overall vibe that you really want to embody. Trends can be helpful, but if you're looking for what's trending in a thrift store, you're typically not going to find it. And if you are going to find it, it's going to be, something from Zara or H&M or whatever that someone just like returned. You don't really need to thrift that because it's not something that's going to last. Think outside of the trends, think more of your basics, your seasonal pieces, your quality materials, and you will have this stuff as base layers throughout your wardrobe. And then when you do go to your more big box stores and your little trendy fashion boop to the bop, you can add that to the pieces that you already have. It's like this really quality, formula, if you will, of having trendy pieces from your more box stores and then having a thrifted base quality wardrobe that they just work in harmony. They just work in harmony. They just group. They just vibe. So I'm going to set this face down. I didn't really do too much because I did more chatting. We are all done. Just a little bit of something. Literally not too much. Just a little gloss, a little concealer, a little, the basics. I don't even feel like putting on mascara, so I won't. And yeah, we're going to get out of here. We're going to go do a little thrifty thrift. I'm going to put on just a little basic outfit. Probably a t-shirt and some jeans. And yeah, call it a day. Some accessories. Boom, boom, pow. All right. Very That's So Raven. Okay, I'm gonna go into one more spot. It's called And Other People's Clothes, just for you guys to take you around. I'm not gonna get anything. I've done a couple, I've done a little bit of damage, but not too much. Un poquito. I've only spent, I think, like $150-ish, which is beautiful for the amount of things. And I can't wait to show you guys the haul of the things from Chicago and here. But I'm gonna take you in there so you can see like how Other People's Clothes is, this location specifically, and then we're gonna go home and we're gonna show you all the clothes. We're so back. This corner may look familiar, but not in the state that it's currently in, but it's fine because I'm doing a thrift haul. Okay, we're gonna go through all the things that I got in Chicago first and then in New York, and Merry Christmas. Let's start with what I got from Chicago. First and foremost, look at this darling little martini bag. Are you kidding me? Look at it, has little like strawberry martinis on it. This is so cute. It's like a little going out bag. Hello. This, when I saw this instantly made me happy. And I said, absolutely, you're coming home with me. So I love that. This was, how much was this? I'll give you the prices of everything. This was $35. $35 for the bag, for the martini bag. Now, I showed you guys something similar in a thrift haul like a couple of months ago because I got one in black. A huge steal, genuine leather, fringe, like jacket, a black one in New York, and now I have her sister cousin, Uncle Fish, in tan, but this one has like more of a cinched waist. I'm sure I put some footage in there. This is a Wilson's leather, like genuine leather, fringe coat, period. This jacket, I saw it and I was like, oh, you're so chic. You're coming home with me. Obviously, I said that about everything because I was like, you're coming home with me. But the detailing on this, look at the stitching. It's in great condition. The leather feels amazing. And Wilson's leather is legit. If you know, you know. This isn't a size extra large, but it fits, I would say, just like an oversized, like women's medium, if you will. But yeah, this was fire. This was probably the most expensive thing out of all the things I bought at $125. But absolutely worth it. And yeah, I'm going to say, obviously, again, I'm going to put an asterisk on my opinion of Chicago thrifting because obviously I live in New York City, so I'm extremely biased and I thrift here all the time. But the Chicago thrifting, it wasn't really, I got a couple cute things, but it wasn't giving all that I needed to give, and I don't think the selection was all that I needed to give. But again, I'm extremely biased, and I think our selection here is much wider and much deeper in its bag. So the things were a little bit more expensive I definitely found in Chicago. But, so that was one something, whatever. This skirt is so tea. This is another little going out little, you know, skirty skirt. This I found at that vintage shop that was very Y2K. Very, you know, a vibe. So it has these little rose details, and then it has this writing on the back and this like brand. It's called Design-Gul. It's like that. This is why I say like you can't necessarily look for brands all the time because who would have known? This is like a little vintage piece, and this skirt was $32. So, one more thing that I got in Chicago because again, the prices, yeah. These are We The Free jeans. They fit me like perfectly. These were $33, and this was just like a nice straight leg jean in the size 30. So, nothing special here, just a nice light wash jean to go. And these are perfect like early fall transitional pieces. That jacket is going to come in clutch into the October, Novembers, and all the things. Now, on to what I got in New York, but first a brief intermission because one of the stores that I went to thrift today, they also have books. And you know, especially if you watch the Mac Edit, you already know I love to read. I love to read. This book is the Maya Angelou book, and you know love Maya Angelou. The Heart of a Woman, found this copy of it, so now I have this in my possession, $6. This book is just a little fiction book. It's called Happy Hour by Marlo Granados. It's by Marlo Granados. This was also $6. And then I also mentioned previously that I absolutely love, one of my favorite life-changing books, if you will, is called, what is it called? It's called The Road to Character by David Brooks. And I saw David Brooks and I was like immediately grabbing this book. This book is called The Second Mountain, The Quest for a Moral Life. I love the way David Brooks writes, so I'm excited to read this book. I have both of these books, The Road to Character and The Social Animal. I never finished The Social Animal, so I should probably pick that back up at some point, but I'm excited to probably get into this at some point. I'm good on books. I have books like my stack right now to finish reading and then to get into. I'm good. I'm probably good till the fall. This was $8. All right, so boom. Now let's get into the clothes. Now we're talking about some thrifting prices, okay? Chicago, I don't know what's up. But these are thrifting prices. This Banana Republic skirt, I got it. It's in a size, let's see, 6. It fits more like an 8, honestly. This Banana Republic skirt, so cute. Love this pattern, especially for a transition season. $8. $8. Yeah. Let's see, who's next? Some of my favorite pieces, to be honest with you, and some, especially in the fall and in the winter, my style definitely, I go from like young, hot, wild, and free to the summer to grandma lesbian chic in the fall, winter, respectfully, okay? Respectfully. I love a like little bit of an oversized, a little bit of a funky, like 90s feel, a little bit of a vintage, you know, just literally grandma lesbian chic, exactly what it sounds like. So, like during the daytime, that's my complete vibe. So I saw this dress and I was immediately drawn to it because of the colors and just the pattern, the vibe. Very like Claire Huxtable vibes. It has a light shoulder pad in it, just a very light. This was $8 as well. And I'll have to put like the video in here so you can really get the full effect. But I'm excited to wear this, and it has like little silver detailed buttons with like some jeans under, and like unbutton this where a little bit more open. It's like a top with the flow. Nobody say nothing to me. Continuing with the grandma lesbian chic. I love a button down. Button downs are so versatile in your wardrobe, especially for layering, especially in the fall. I love to have a button down and then put a nice cardigan or a sweater on top. So I got this like light lilac purple Calvin Klein button down, and it has a really good structured collar. Because I find that a lot of the women's, oh girl, a little fuzzy scared the hell out of me. I find a lot of the women's button downs don't have enough structure in the collar, so it just ends up being, you know, it looking a little rough. I like how the men's ones that you thrift have structure in the collar, so when you layer it with something, it still holds the test of time. You know, it still like holds up and looks like something. You just don't look thrown together. So this button down I'm excited about. This little Calvin Klein, this little purple lilac color. I just love thrifting. It just really, so these the Wilson brand, like the tennis brand, these vintage track pants. I got 2 pairs of vintage track pants. These were $8. Okay, what was up with the price in Chicago? Everything was $30 and everything I got today was like $8, $10. Period. These vintage track pants, are you kidding me? I'm so gagged. These are going to be so good to finish the summer out. Early fall as well. Wear it with like a tank. Little sneakers, a little something. These are the other pair of vintage track pants I got. I think these are Reebok. Yeah. And these are like MC Hammer type vibes. But I love this purple color. No shockers here. My favorite color. Yeah, I think that's just going to really set it off. Especially because, you know, all the new activewear brands are coming out with their vintage lines and all this stuff. Go to your thrift store. These pants, I forgot to share how much these were 10. These were $10. $8, $10. Now, you saw me try on this That's So Raven vibes, okay? Darren doesn't love it, but Darren's not wearing it. Darren, I don't care. Like I said, lesbian, you know, grandma lesbian chic with like a flare. I love this little vest. This is so cute. I think with just like some jeans and like a little fun shoe or boot. T. If you see me staring off into space and I'm like having a That's So Raven moment, it's because I have on my That's So Raven vest. Next, I almost left the store. I was leaving the store. I was trying to leave the store because I'm like, I need to get out of here. And wait, hold on, pause. How much was the vest? The vest was $10. Okay, $10. Hey, Charlotte, you want to say hey? Come here. Come here. Come say hey. Say hey. Mm-hmm. Say hi. Come here. Let's wave. Let's wave to the people. Here. She's camera shy, honestly. Okay, back to the thrift haul. I was leaving the store and I passed by this. I said, wait, this is so darling. The best way to quiet on the set. Quiet on the creek. Not quiet on the creek. The best way to describe this top is darling. It's like Victorian almost. It has this ruffled, hemmed, beautiful stitching. This top was $6. $6 with these little like puff sleeves. It's very Victorian, very like darling. But this would just literally look so boom. With just these jeans and like a cute pair of flats and like a little nice, maybe a little like pop of color purse. Some jewelry. Oh, period. Okay, then to the next shop that I went to. Again, these New York City prices are eating Chicago all the way up. $14 for this Ralph Lauren polo cable knit sweater. Bring back wearing a little pop of color. Bring back wearing a pop of color. And I'm so excited to wear this cable knit sweater. So cute. This crew neck sweater, little crop crew neck, it says, "Somebody loves you," and it's by the brand Mayfair. If you look up Mayfair, Mayfair, these are actually dumb expensive for kind of no reason, but this was $8.50, okay? If I'm lying, I'm crying. $8.50 for this like expensive behind little crew neck, and this is just a fun throw on, you know, in the fall. It's very varsity vibes, you know. It definitely gives that varsity lettering. And on the sleeve, it says, "Remind someone that you love them." I thought that was so sweet. So the last thing, last but not least, are these jeans. These are by the brand Attica in a size large. They're like a straight leg, almost bordering skinny, but not really, really skinny. This two-tone gray and black denim. Honestly, it's funny because I have like other fully grayish black denim that's like more leans on this side, and I find myself in the fall and in the winter wearing them all the time. So I was like, these are actually going to go farther than they may think, and they definitely lean more like, you know, edgy, a little bit more on the edgy side with the design and the like dark color, but you know, you can mix and match and play around. Okay, I had such a good time filming this for you guys because obviously I love to thrift. I had such a good time. If you want to see more vlog, more thrifting, more whatever, okay, let me know. I love you so much. Catch you on the next one. Bye.